Hello and good morning. Welcome back to episode 34 of Reading Through the Bible, where we're taking it from Genesis to Revelation. And last time we picked up at the end of the plagues. So the children of Israel had cried out to Pharaoh, had cried out to God about the treatment of their enslavement in Egypt. Although the laws say that you're not supposed to mistreat your slaves and things of that sort, the children of Israel found themselves trying to make brick with no straw. And they were also forced to kill the male children if they were midwives. So there were just really, really harsh conditions. And so they began to pray and cry out to God. And he decides to raise up a man by the name of Moses. And although Moses is not a good speaker, God decides that he's going to be the one that will lead his children out of bondage in Egypt. So he pairs him with his brother, Aaron, because Aaron will be able to be the mouthpiece for him. And they approach Pharaoh with the words of God saying, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh plays like he's going to let the children of Israel go. And then always at the last minute, he says, "No." And this is even in spite of knowing that plagues are going to come upon him. He often uses his magicians to mimic the gifts of God and the power of God. And so you often see the magicians and Moses and the people going back and forth. So that's where they ended up. So you had the plague of frogs that came upon the people after the water became blood. Now, the ironic thing about, I doubt it's ironic because it's God, but remember in the end times when it speaks about frogs. Let me go to that verse. So in the very end times, it says this about frogs. And I think it's really significant that the frogs are a part of the plagues. It says in Revelation 16:13, "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet." And so here we have a civilization like under the Pharaonic kingdom where they were worshiping idols. Once again, the Pharaoh was worshiping Dagon, who was the water fish god. He was half man, half God. Sometimes he was seen as a serpent slash fish. And so here you see the plague of frogs come. Now, the plague of lice, what's notable about that is that the etymology of it, it's saying that these things were stinging. Now, I guess they're not like I don't know if lice sting, but I know that they are defined as being bothersome. And certainly when lice is defined in the Bible, it says that they're bothersome. So I guess that's one thing about lice. Now, the swarm of flies is another one. Beelzebub is often called the Lord of the Flies. And so I think here we see this influx of flies come upon the people once again who were idol worshipers. And again, you see that reiterate itself in the plague of the boils. Now, at the end of days, the mark of the beast is going to give those who take it boils. So once again, you just see the mirroring happening with the plagues and then the end times. So that's where we left off. We're going to pick up at the Passover. So if you are reading along, let me know if you would like me to. Thank you, Nope. Thank you very much. I hope all is well. Yeah, I was on the road last week with work. I apologize. So I'm trying to get to this chapter. I believe it's chapter 12, if I'm not mistaken. So we're starting at chapter 12, and this is the Passover. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. He shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. And he shall keep it upon the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and upon the upper doorpost of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain unto the morning, and that which remains of it unto the morning shall be burned with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Okay. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be upon you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it for a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it as a feast by ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day unto the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be a holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your for I have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses, for whosoever eats that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Okay, leaven is like yeast. Not even like, leaven is yeast. And it's almost the same analogy of making something impure. So even though it was actual bread, it was the analogy of, don't be mixing different doctrines and stuff like that. Don't mix with the heathen. Don't do that kind of stuff. Okay. You shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, Draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out of the door of his house until the morning. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. And it shall come to pass, when you become to the land which the Lord gives you, according as he has promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass, when children shall say unto you, What mean you by this service? That you shall say, It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their heads and worshipped. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, and there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, Rise up and get you forth from amongst my people, both you and your children of Israel, and go and serve the Lord as you have said. Also take your flocks and your herds, and as you have said, and be gone. Bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, We be all dead men. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. And the children of Israel sojourned from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men besides children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them in flocks and herds, even very much cattle. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Egypt, for it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Egypt and could not tarry, neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day as it came to pass, that all the host of the Lord went out of the land of Egypt. It is a night to be much observed unto the Lord for bringing them out of the land of Egypt. That is the night of the Lord to be observed of all the children of Israel in their generations. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof, but every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall ye eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. In one house shall it be eaten, and thou shalt not carry forth out of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall ye break a bone thereof. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, and no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. Okay, so when strangers come into the land, once again, just reiterating what we talked about when we talked about the laws of slavery. When strangers and sojourners came into their land, they had to adhere. Well, they had a choice, but if they were going to get the graces pretty much that God gives and what they were giving out, they had to give themselves to the Lord. Okay, they weren't heathens coming into your house and being able to do whatever they wanted, and you still feed them and keep them and all that good stuff. No. Look, they had to circumcise their son, meaning they had to be um of God. Verse 49. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Thus did all the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass the self-same day, that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by armies. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn. Whosoever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both man and beast, it is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which you come out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out of this place. Thou shalt no leavened bread be eaten. This day came ye out of the month Abib. Okay, so Abib, now we know, is the first month. So their calendars are much different now than they were back then. So biblically speaking, Abib is the first month. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites and the Hittites and Amorites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, thou shalt keep this service in this month. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the seventh day shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and thou shalt no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. And thou shalt show thy son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which the Lord did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, for a memorial between thine between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand has the Lord brought thee out of Egypt. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in the season from year to year. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of Canaanites, as he sware thee to thy fathers, and shall give it to thee, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that opens the matrix, and every firstling that comes of a beast which thou hast, the male shall be the Lord's. And every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with the lamb, and if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break his neck, and all the firstborn man among thy children shalt thou redeem. And it shall be, when thy son asks thee in the time to come, saying, What is this? That thou shalt say, By strength of hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that opens the matrix, being male, and all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And it shall be for a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets of thine eyes, for by strength of hand the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt. All right. Let's see what time it is. Okay, I'm gonna finish reading chapter 13. It just has a few more verses. Yeah, okay. Crossing the Red Sea. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, Lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. And God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. Just to clarify, did you say matrix? So that's interesting. Yes. I know. I thought it was pretty interesting when I first saw that as well. Let me get the exact etymology, because I think the etymology is interesting as well, if I'm not mistaken. So the etymology, it is really literally just womb. It's just another word for womb. And then the primitive root of that is to love, love deeply, have mercy, compassionate, have tender affection. Yeah, pretty much. To be soft. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Um, yeah, that's interesting just because it's actually, I would say, describing the womb in a sense on that primitive root. But yeah, I think it's I wonder why they decided to use it as far as, what we know of, like the Matrix story movies. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, so God's leading them about through the wilderness so that they don't see war and decide to turn back. Okay. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them by the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of the fire by night from before the people. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Paharoth, between Migdal the sea, over against Baal Zephon, before it shall ye encamp by the sea. So that's that same mountain that we just spoke about, Mount Zephon, that the elites like to praise and worship. That's that same mountain. For Pharaoh will say unto the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have they done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out unto the high hand. But the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea beside Pahathroth and before Baal-Zebon. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. And they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is this not the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been between for us to serve the Egyptians, than that we should die in the wilderness. See, the children of Israel just make me mad. They cried out to God in the first place for God to come save them from the Egyptians. Then when he does it, then they complain and say, you should have left us alone to be enslaved in Egypt. It's like, and Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he shall show you to this day. For the Egyptians he will show you this day. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they may go forward. But lift up thy rod and stretch out thy hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on to dry land through the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, that they shall follow after them, and I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, upon his chariots and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud of darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that one came not near and the other all night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon dry ground, and the waters were a wall upon them, a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them in the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses and his chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass in the morning watch, the Lord looked upon the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots and upon the horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the waters appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall upon them on their right hand and their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the land of the Egyptians, and Israel and saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that the great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. They believed the Lord and Moses. Whew, all right. Yep, nothing's ever good enough. Yep. That's why they kept circling the mountain over and over and over again. And I think that still happens to us in today's, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes I feel like I'm in the movie Groundhog Day, where he has to keep doing that day over and over again, but it's not the next day. It's just a day, maybe months down the line. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I've been in this day before, but it's not quite deja vu. Because deja vu, you're supposed to have never, ever been there before. But some days I'm like, no, I already did this day. So that was the Exodus. And I do have a video I want to make on this, because there is evidence of the Exodus. So maybe I'll try to pump that out here soon before we get to the next chapter. But yeah, and the crossing the Red Sea. I know people get upset about the hard and the hard and the plagues, but if they actually read, Pharaoh was not trying to let them go. He even pursued after them. So I don't know what they're reading. I don't know what they're reading. But anyways, thank you so much for reading through the Bible with me today. I will try to be back, God willing, next week, where we pick off, where we pick up on Exodus chapter 15. Okay. All right. I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you're in a rainy place like I am, I hope you stay safe because these floods are washing people away. Okay. So I will talk to you soon. Bye bye. Pharaoh had he did. He had way too many warnings. Peace. Have a good day.